attitude ain't a prize fight famous. It never happens in a basketball game, particularly at the end, and they don't even get to have a good conversation, and they get hit for tees. And of course, with the offsetting tees.
Is that what it's about there?
I don't know. You tell me. Steal by Michael Cooper and Magic Johnson. A foul. And here's McAdoo and Bannon going at each other. And Darryl Garrettson, like a defensive tackle, has just shoved 3 or 4 players away as Bannon and McAdoo started to throw fists. They'll have to quiet this down. But I'll tell you one thing, it's understandable that the fuses are short in this ball game. The Lakers trying to wrap it up.
Let's see if we can see what happened here. Here's Magic going up, and there's McAdoo giving Bannon, and Bannon's giving it back.
Pat Riley and Billy Cunningham, both coaches, are on the floor. Riley with McAdoo at about center court, and Cunningham. Peace has been restored. Lakers, they swept San Antonio and lead 3-2 in this series.
Here. There.
And they called the foul on Caldwell Jones, his 4th.
And so the extracurricular activities will not play a part. They just tell the guys, all right, guys, cool off.
Bobby Jones and Caldwell Jones have 4.
Going in is level. He tried to pass inside, no one there. 2-on-2 break. Danny Ainge. Going up. Peterson was down court. And Danny Ainge will go to the line and shoot.
Peterson was going for the ball. A good all-out hustle. Went for the ball and just ended up hitting Danny on the head. It was all going for the ball.
Second foul is on Jim Peterson. Elijah Wan is the only Rocket with 3. No Celtic has 3.
Throws the basketball at Dudley. Both are ejected. But now, moments after this, Maxwell, who has a history of wacko behavior, goes up into the stands and allegedly struck a fan. Houston forward Robert Horry apparently joined in, and the police then escorted Horry, Maxwell, and assistant coach Larry Smith out. This is all the video we have and all anybody watching.
Minor for Geiger. Oh my goodness! That's a flagrant foul as Anthony Bonner hog-tied Geiger and roped him down.
And they're ejecting Bonner.
Well, the temperature is rising in Miami. This could really fire up Miami, but the Knicks have always thrived in this particular role.
Let's take a look at it. Geiger deflects this pass. Khalid Reeves with the pass ahead to Geiger, and Bonner on the takedown from behind. So Bonner is ejected. Geiger,
and enjoy our telecast there, we hope.
Strip. Mullen again. Here's Price. Mullen rejected by Johnson and fouled. A hard foul. Crowd does not appreciate it, but Larry Johnson was going for the ball. Rick Adelman not happy. Looking for the flagrant, and he gets the call. It is a flagrant. Well, that's one we'll have to look at again, but first a timeout taken.
Well, Chris Mullen on the foul line now after a flagrant foul was called against Larry Johnson as Mullen went up for a shot. There was a little hesitation as to whether it would or would not be for a few seconds. Take another look at it now. Mullen going up, Larry Johnson coming over. Hard foul by Larry. I think the feeling is that Larry was just trying to block the shot, but he couldn't get up high enough to do it as Mullen twisted his body into Larry Johnson. And I think more of another look at it now. If there's a doubt these days, it's going to go in favor of the flagrant being called. The NBA is very, very sensitive about their players getting hurt and any suggestion of violence taking place.
Havoc created off the press. Crowd wanted a foul. Well, they get a foul, but it's Anthony with a hard foul on Armstrong. The Bulls looking for a flagrant, and they get the call.
So they award the flagrant foul. But a tremendous presence by Scott Williams to not just hoist it up there. Here's the decision. Was this a flagrant foul by knocking him to the ground? The officials felt close enough, walking the fine line to award the ball.
Here for the Trailblazers, and of course, he got to the NBA Finals on 2 occasions. In Buck's first 11 years in this league, you would put down 15 points and 10 rebounds before the game started. Tabak and Ewing have to be separated by Benny Adams. After Ewing already picking up a technical in the second quarter, still eyeing John Tabak. So this has not been a comforting opener for Patrick Ewing here in Toronto. He has gotten hot under the collar on several occasions.
Well, keep an eye to the right of the screen right there. See, Tabak is trying to block him out. Ewing coming up over the top, and you could see the shot right there. Tabak came back right in there with that right elbow. The main thing for him is not to back away from Ewing, because you could see what you try to tell guys on the foul line, Dick, is when they're standing there, get your arms up over the top of the shoulder of the guy next to you. That time, Tabak had his arms down. Ewing went right over and pinned him. Smart move by Patrick.
Flying all over the place. And Steve Smith is still challenging. Ross is telling him, calm down.
Tony Brown was out there trying to restrain Steve Smith, and Flip Saunders is out there.
What Flip is saying is enough talk. Enough is enough, and enough talk. Steve Smith was calm, but he is saying...
Peeler nearly a steal. Smitty. Peeler runs down the rebound, and Steve Smith commits the foul. And those two are still hot.
Well, Steve is the one that's initiating all the conversation, and what's going to happen if he keeps talking, they're going to give him one of those taunting fouls, so they got to get him out of the ballgame.
Bon, on voit pourquoi Philadelphie tourne à 44% de réussite cette saison. Hein.
Oh, il est allé au bout. Hein. Il est allé au bout, Kukoc. Et la bataille Jordan-Maxwell sur la gauche de l'écran.
Oui, mais franchement, je ne vois pas Jordan faire une faute là-dessus. Les deux joueurs sont en train de se chamailler pour prendre la position. À la limite, il y a double faute ou rien du tout, mais c'est pas forcément Jordan, ni l'autre d'ailleurs, qui fait la faute. Mais bon, Jordan, c'est Jordan, donc il a souvent l'avantage avec les arbitres. Jordan qui a besoin de 12 points aujourd'hui pour...
3 points. Il faut surtout penser à garder ce ballon. Logique, cette faute rapidement commise sur Tony Kukoc par Sean Higgins.
Deux lancers francs pour le Croate.
Et Higgins, quand il était à l'Aris Salonique, tournait à 22 points et 10 rebonds dans le championnat grec. Plutôt un bon joueur.
Kukoc 3 sur 4 au lancer franc dans cette rencontre. On va le retrouver aux Jeux Olympiques avec l'équipe nationale croate, avec Tabak bien sûr, Raja et compagnie, Krasovic, nouveau vainqueur de la Coupe d'Europe avec Vitoria.
Il a failli lui faire quitter son slip, comme vous dites, George.
Là, il y avait une faute un peu méchante et inutile de Stackhouse sur Kukoc.
Oakley lost it. Ewing. Oakley with the rebound. Well, Charles able to hang in. He was hoping that Williams could work it off. It is a 20-second timeout.
Charles powers his way to the basket, and then Williams gets backed up, collided with Charles Oakley. Looks like that left thigh, perhaps a bruise, which is understandable when Charles Oakley bangs into you. Sometimes
schnell ist er. Sean Marion. Oh! Vorsicht! Das sah jetzt gar nicht so gut aus, diese Aktion von Sean Marion. Wurde da offensichtlich unterlaufen. Ich glaube nicht mit Absicht von John Starks. landet, wenn ich das richtig beobachtet habe, auf seiner rechten Schulter. Hier haben wir die Zeitlupe. Achtung, der Wurf von Stockton. Marion geht hoch zum Rebound. Starks unter ihm. Sean Marion knallt auf die rechte Schulter, also nicht auf den Kopf. Sieht nicht besonders gut aus. Ich darf an dieser Stelle allerdings schon Entwarnung geben. Es sah wesentlich dramatischer aus, als es tatsächlich war. Der erste Bericht des Mannschaftsarztes der Phoenix Suns sagt aus, dass Sean Marion an einer Gehirnerschütterung leidet. Er ist in der Spielerkabine wenig später wieder aufgestanden. Er wurde dann ins Krankenhaus gebracht. Also keine Verletzungen an der Halswirbelsäule, keine Verletzungen der Nervenbahn. Lediglich, und das natürlich in Anführungszeichen, eine Gehirnerschütterung bei Sean Marion. Es sah wesentlich dramatischer aus, als es dann tatsächlich war, so wie er hier abtransportiert war. Also auch von dieser Stelle Genesungswünsche an Sean Marion. Wir hoffen, dass er sich bald wieder von seiner Gehirnerschütterung erholt hat und dass wir ihn bald wieder zurück auf dem Parkett sehen im Trikot der Phoenix Suns.
Oh. Et là, on peut dire qu'Anthony Piller y est allé de bon cœur sur les épaules de Steve Nash.
Oui, Steel Carmelo avec le genou vers l'avant pour vous faire très mal.
Ouais, avec une faute technique pour Anthony Piller.
En fait, ce qui est assez paradoxal, c'est de voir l'équipe de Minnesota.
Play a perimeter game has been able to get by John Stockton. What hand did he shoot that with? That was a left-handed shot. Beauty. That's what Maverick fans have come to expect from Steve Nash. That's why when he doesn't play well, they can't win.
And this year he's been healthy. That's been the bottom line for Nash. If he's healthy, blocking foul called on Stockton. And Stockton has three personals.
There's a lot of blood here. This is a tough call that goes against John Stockton.
Nash's forehead is bleeding.
Well, Nash is going to have to go and get a ton of treatment here because the head collision and John Stockton trying to find out what planet he's on here. I just don't see how that's a defensive foul. John Stockton is stepping right in there.
Stockton talking with Eddie Rush, and Nash is going to go back into the locker room to get attended to.
And now Don Nelson is going to have to put a free throw shooter in there.
Earlier in the third quarter, Steve Nash colliding with the chin of John Stockton, and Nash had to go back to the Mavericks locker room to get some stitches. Let's get an update from Lewis Johnson.
All right, Mike, thanks a lot. I'm standing here in the tunnel expecting Steve Nash to...
And Juwan Howard gets his 10th rebound of the game. Howard with a double-double.
What a shake. Tease him, Steve.
Shot won't count. Crowd explodes, but Bourne foul number 4. And Jacques Bourne now with 5 personal fouls. 3 team fouls on Utah.
The relentless push. When you're playing against someone like Steve Nash, when you're playing against the guys who were terrific in transition, think of Pete Maravich. Think of Manley.
Oh, good defense from Russell to force the turnover. As players diving all over the place. And an offensive foul call on Michael Finley. Russell is the latest player down on the court.
Don Nelson is up. He didn't see this hit. He's calling for a flop here. Brian Russell stood right in there, and the swing, the rotation of the trunk to get open. The loose ball is going to come in the hands of Michael Finley. Bam, right in the chin. Amazing that Brian Russell can even get up.
Certainly not. It didn't look like it was intentional. Russell was just right up in his face. Alone the rebound.
Finally, somebody able to. Oh, that's a tough call.
Offensive foul on Danny Manning.
Danny Manning came to a stop in transition. Sean Bradley hits him. I think that's a good call. You can't just stop and walk in and stop like that on the guy.
That's a non-call.
He knocked him to the floor.
He's running up the court and he stopped.
Barkley gets called for the foul.
How can he argue that call?
That's number 2 on Barkley.
Took Stockton's head off.
But it was the right play to attack the pick and roll, and they forced John Stockton backwards. And if Barkley had not reached in, they had him under control. Right there, he just reaches over the top of their head.
That's what you love about guys like Barkley, though. They play it so hard with so much passion. Then you look up, and late in the game, they got 1 foul.
Now they're going to get Karl Malone out so he doesn't pick up anything cheap in the final 3-2 left here in the half. Stockton with 8 points trying to get to 9 in the quarter.
Got the second one to fall. Then you look up, and late in the game, they got 1 foul.
Now they're going to get Karl Malone out so he doesn't pick up anything cheap in the final.
Mourning there for the rebound. Goes up. Shot was contested. Loose ball on the floor. Still rolling around out of bounds to Miami.
Oakley, the first guy to dive and get down low. A lot of other people reaching and bending over.
You get a feel of Miami basketball on this play. They're going to do whatever it takes. Bodies flying all over the floor. Brown has it, then it squirts away, and at the end, Hardaway separates Chris Childs from the ball, and it rolls out of bounds. Miami gets it back.
They're working so hard inside. Johnson trying to find Robinson. Broken up by Larry Johnson, and he'll pick up number 5. When you tell your guys, play defense before the guy catches the ball, and you see Larry Johnson this time working hard. Little touch foul there over the top. More importantly, that will be the team's 5th. So San Antonio will shoot free throws the rest of the game, and now Larry Johnson has 5 fouls. See, the problem you have with this is when you have to play Dudley in the 4th quarter, he's a poor free throw shooter, but more importantly, Bob, he's not a threat to make a shot out on the floor.
The teams were going to their benches at the timeout. Larry Brown picked up a technical foul. He was very upset. Steve Javie teed him up. Allen Iverson trying to plead with Javie on the latest sequence, but that technical foul went against the head coach, Larry Brown. Winning on the road, the greatest challenge, and Allen Iverson, who's now twice gotten involved to hold his by Aaron McKee defensively. Iverson with the steal, and then gets 3 down the other end. Hard foul on Childs, and 1. Breaking a technical foul on Childs. What's going on here, Bill, with all these technicals? Breakdown by Childs. When Allen Iverson is out in front, when anybody's out in front that far, unless you're Michael Cooper from the old Los Angeles Lakers, you basically have to let it go. And there's no chance whatsoever you're going to catch Allen Iverson. Allen Iverson, as so many of the small guards learn from guys like Lenny Wilkins, guys like Johnny Egan, guys like Norm Nixon, he has extended that basket but never get front of it. Stockton and mastered that as well. Yeah, that's the technical free throws. Childs picks up 1. Here you are in a conference semifinal in a series that's obviously far from over. Here's the steal. And guys picking up technicals that could decide whether or not you win or lose a game. We saw it in Sacramento the other night. Chris Webber picked up a costly foul on a play he had no chance whatsoever to make. His mental decisions left him hanging. That's why it's so critical in these days. And you know the crowd is so hungry and ready to get off to that great explosive start. McKee, and the basket won't count. And as McKee and Oakley fall over each other, players just playing hard at this point, and everybody making sure Tucker's get carried away. McKee with a terrific move. McKee's had some second half. Along the baseline, unable to close out Antonio Davis as Aaron McKee has just been too good, and the hard foul afterwards, the players stumbling to recover their balance. Oakley kind of grabbing from behind. He was propping him up. He didn't want him to fall down. His own version of propping him up. So McKee will inbound. The fouls come up big in the second half. was 0 for 6 from the field in the first half. The Jazz have to keep their defense up. Malone with a block. Terrific block by Karl Malone. Not the strongest part of his game. But believe me, as a defender, that's the best, most fun part of basketball is starting fast breaks. And New York will take a timeout with 3:26 showing on the clock. With a 5, with an 8-point lead, and New York in a scramble mode, it's Karl Malone that knocks that one free, and that got him in transition as Mills goes down holding his
field in the third quarter.
Good D by Allen that time to draw the charging violation.
Offensive foul, and Abdul Wahid. That's his second, and the momentum now all going towards the Knicks.
Yeah, that's how you deny that baseline. So splendid D by Houston.
And a timeout called. Knicks will take it with just under 3 minutes remaining here in the third. Knick defense getting it done. Patrick Ewing the rejection. Knicks by 9.
Some outstanding defensive play that we didn't anticipate early on. Scramble for the loose ball, and Shaq goes over a chair. And it will be Sacramento ball, and a concern because Shaquille O'Neal went over a metal chair and fell down behind the bench. He is still down as he hit the wood. Now that's a wooden platform where the seats begin, and this doesn't look to be anything slight, Hubie.
Well, I would think that he would bounce up. You can see right there. I mean, also when that happens, Dick, you're scared. You're nervous because of the unknown. You went right over the top of people who were sitting in chairs. Now just keep an eye on this now. They're both going hard. Now he goes right over the top and then takes the chair right with him. So you're worrying about a bang knee, a bang shin. Plus, as he goes down inside, you're worrying about the shoulder.
So Shaq, all right, seemingly is back in there.
Oakley. Anderson baseline. Pretty. P.J. Brown rocks the rim. Well, the kid, that run by P.J. Brown. Now, he was going to go down and through if he didn't catch the ball, would have opened the lane. But here, coming to the goal, the ability to get in a hole, and there's been some chatting going on. They all read the same papers, don't they? And listen to the same radio shows, too. And then Mason down at this end continues a little whooping. And he took PJ to the hole on this end. And Mace better watch out. He's still jawing with David Jones. He's going to get another one. The whistle went to the mouth of Jones. He was about to blow it for the second technical foul, but Herb Williams stepped in. But he's such a factor during the game. I mean, he's been doing a wonderful job offensively against P.J. Brown. Relax. It was a bang-bang play. It didn't go your way. You'll get some.
Rebound. Rick Mahorn gives him an elbow to the ribs. Ewing goes down. 2 possessions later, Ewing still upset and goes for the jugular.
Well, normally you don't.
Mahorn and Ewing ejected. Meanwhile, Coleman, an innocent bystander.
Double technical. Billy missed the tap. Moses runs at Billy with the ball.
I buy that call from what I saw. Both players shoved and pushed each other.
Ron Artest, ladies and gentlemen, trust me, like you've never seen him before. That's all I'm saying. Third quarter tied at 50. Reggie, hard foul by Jason Collins. Greg, there's history here between these teams.
Yeah, there's some bad blood, obviously, after the first round playoff series last season.
And suddenly Ron Artest is no longer relaxed. He is ready to roll. There you see it one more time. Cooler heads prevail. Fourth quarter.
Sixers following their timeout as Dawkins drives and a whistle. And Dumars and Mahorn.
That's why they have 3 veteran referees at this ball game. Joe Dumars, Rick Mahorn tangling up.
Now again, of all of the guys on the Pistons team, Dumars and Lambier are closest to Mahorn. And they're the 2 that he's banged around in this game, or have banged him around.
And the call was on Dennis Rodman, which is a good call by Jake O'Donnell, because he definitely had a hold of Charles Barkley as Charles was trying to get across the key.
fighting is just, part of the game. Whether you want to believe that or not, fighting is part of the game. Say I get fined $50,000, 50,000 minus 40 mil. I still got a lot left.
Two topics always come up when you talk about fighting. Physical play versus soft style. Teams that play rough seem to get away with more, and that makes tempers flare. And then there's trash talking. Is it the spark that ignites most of the flames?
Maybe a team such as ours, we're not known as a physically abusive type team, and when we play a very physical team, I think sometimes the mindset as well, this team's physical and this team's not.
We run into a problem is the other team is not used to playing that style and tries to match that level, and they can't, and they get frustrated and cause a problem.
Inside, now dishes deep right. Nance, 18-foot gun goes. 57-41. We got to fight. Lambeer and Doherty really going after it. Doherty's on the floor.
Both centers, I'm sure, George, will be ejected. There was some pretty nasty blows thrown in there. Lambeer caught one right.
Somebody got tussled to the floor, and one of the other teams didn't like it, took exception to it. And I think Isaiah or Chuck made the comment about, we're playing like the old.
Yeah, it was because of the taunting. When you dunk a ball on a guy and you stand and you stare at him. I mean, if a guy has any get up and go about it, that upsets it.
Trash talking is all a part of breaking somebody's confidence. And and that's just part of the game. You can talk, you can walk the walk.
Look at Kevin Johnson still talking.
You can see when guys are talking, going at each other against trash talking. Is that where the league might end up doing something like that?
Pete, there's a possibility. I mean, it's one of the things that we're going to talk about. But where do you draw the line? I mean, that's what we need a lot of discussion about, and to try to make sure if it's as big a problem as maybe some of us think it is.
They didn't talk much trash in the old days, but they sure fought a lot. Remember Willis Reed beating up the entire Laker team? Rudy Tomjanovich's...
They're one of the teams that no one wanted to play, and simply because of one guy, Buck Williams.
He was like their enforcer. There are no enforcers anymore now in the league.
Blood now coming out of Buck Williams' eye.
I was so young when I came to the NBA, and he was just like the strongest man that I had ever met. I didn't fear playing against anybody in the NBA, but when I played against Buck Williams, he made me think about playing against him.
Slayer, but he is a tough player.
Running that games as if your name was Scott Skiles.
He looked like he never took no. Hey, I'm the white boy. I'm official. I'm up in here. Blase ski, and I got heart.
Charles Barkley, just so much fun. Happy.
Wait a minute. What's going on here? Some fan ran out on the court, and Barkley's getting some smooches.
And the great thing is,
let's apply. Oh, what a rebound by Weber over Mutombo.
Latrell. Chris Weber getting in the face of Dikembe twice. That's the league-leading rejector. Little lip talk, too.
Mad.
Vernon Maxwell was about it.
Maxwell for three!
You really didn't know what to expect with Mad Max.
I talk so much smack that you could never take it personal. It just started being funny.
Don't talk to him like that, Beater Knuckles.
I never could understand it, but he had some good lines,
If your head lumpy, I tell you your head lumpy. Act you ain't that one out here, boy.
He liked intimidating you. He liked defeating your mental toughness.
No point guard played defense like that.
Who curses himself out?
Don't be so mean, KG!
Almost like he gonna beat himself up, just to motivate himself to defeat you.
Really like he had springs. Boom!
Starks now has 20 points. He's 5 for 5 from the field here in the third. Shaquille O'Neal. Look out. Mason and O'Neal in a collision. It's a traveling.
Grouping and triple teaming guys trying to hurt me when I go for a dunk. So I just said, I think I'm going to go to the NBA, and I'll get my degree later.